call. Mr. 58 is the new 28, and I'm just logging in. Your boy just came back. I don't even know how far I went. Let me see how far my run was. 6.34 miles. That's how far I went today. 6.34 miles on a Saturday. Y'all know how I get down. Burn 589 calories, 6.34 miles. So, back is a little sore. Why? Because I've been doing all kinds of crazy, underhanded exercises. Like my mind ain't going bad. But when I get off of this joint, I'm going to put that heating pad on that back, and I'm going to be back at 1,000. Y'all feel me? Where'd it go, Ninja Q? Ninja, what's a Ninja Q7934? What it do, man? What it do? Your boy just came in from 6.34 mile run. And man, I'm tired. My legs is gone. All of the above. Y'all seen the exercise routines I've been posting online for the last couple of days. I've been doing all kinds of core work. So all kinds of bending stuff, using the ab roll and all that. So I woke up this morning, my back was a little bit sore, my lower back. But it's okay because I still did them crunches and I still went for that 6.34 mile run because I don't be playing. That's how we get down. That's how we get down. And I got lucky today, y'all. I'm always talking to y'all about getting lucky. I got lucky today. Hit the lottery for $500 today. So, with that being the case, man, always some luck in the game, bruh. Always some luck in the game. Could have hit the lottery last night, man, but I forgot to play this number that I had been playing for like the last 2 weeks. I didn't play it last night and it came out. Say 3 and 3 hour, hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, I got lucky. Look, watch this. Watch this, Ninja Q. Watch this. Hold up. Hold up. Hey. Oh, didn't play. 200, 400, 500, 200, 400, 500. I know it's backwards, but you can see it was two 200s and 100. So that's $500. Then hey, look, I came home and then went right back to the store. Got to go back to the store and get my money, man. Then, you know, I sent my daughter Cash App because I tell her every time I win, I'm going to send you some money because that's free money. You know, might well go and give her some. Yeah, might well go and give her some. You know what I'm saying? I told my wife I'm going to give her 100 when she come home because, you know, I'm part of that game, bro. Hey, Andrew Harper, what's good, dog? What's happening, homeboy? Let me check the lottery number, see if I hit the lottery while I was sitting here talking to y'all. No, that ain't my number. That ain't my number. I don't play the daytime numbers that often. I usually only play the daytime numbers on Saturday and Sunday. Coach, gambling is addictive and dangerous. Yeah, but when you win it all the time, I told you, I was up here last week when you said that. Well, earlier this week, I won $475 earlier this week, and I just won $500 today. Yeah, it's addictive, but you got to know how to play. I don't play no more than $5. I play $5 a day. So that's it. If I don't win on $5, I don't win. But I accumulated my $5 and then I won 200. And once I won 200, I played 50. Put the $50 back in my pocket and I played 50. And the 50 won me 500. So with that being said, that's how we get down. I've been thinking I'm going to move out at 18, but I wonder how financially stable I'm going to be by then. Hey, man, you don't be financially stable at 18 because you ain't really got no skills at 18. At 18, you just beginning to start to build skills. You ain't got enough skills to be stable at 18 unless you hit the lottery. Then you get hit. Then you can say it. Omar the superstar. What's good, though? Hey, yo, coach. How you doing today? What's my name, coach? You know, man, Omar the superstar, baby. Hey, look, I don't forget certain things because certain things matter to me. They say you don't forget stuff that matters. Yeah, man, I hit for, what was it, $975 this week. This week. And then I'm going right back tomorrow, $5. I don't play for $5. $5 a day, bro. I told y'all I hit at least once a week for 200, but I only play $5 a day. Hey, look, man. Hey, look, that's what it is, Omar the superstar. I told you that. Hey, look, respect, Blair, respect. Hey, look, what's going on, y'all? What's happening? Hey, look, I got up this morning, came downstairs. Excuse me. Felt like my throat is still dry, man. I just came in the house. I ain't been in the house 10 minutes. Look, I still got my headphones on. I've been in the house like 10 minutes. Came in the house, man, from that run, 6.34 miles. You know, it ain't really that bad outside, but I still had on enough clothes to take the run. But yeah, man, came home from the run, came right over here, set the stand up, put my phone on the stand, and went right to work. Man, so you know how I go, man. Just glad y'all doing what y'all doing today. Say on the clock, making a killing while chilling. That sound like me, dog. Hey, look, we must be from the same clan. On the clock, making a killing while chilling. And here we got America right now out there getting in more wars. I don't understand it, bro. We already got a war going with Venezuela. Then we got a war going with Mexico. Now we done shot missiles at Iran. How many wars do we need to be in, dog? And look, after a while, we're going to be all warred out. Coach, keep pushing yourself and be fit, man. You know how I do, man. I don't know no other way to do it, man. Hey, look, I woke up this morning, came downstairs and worked out with a sore back. My back was a little sore, and the reason why I was a little sore is because I did all these exercises that involved the leg lift joints with the pull-up bar, the power towel. I was doing leg lifts. Then I had ankle weights on. I was doing 6 inches. Then I did my 10-minute plank with a 25-pound weight on my back. Then I did the joints y'all saw me do online with the ab roller. Then I went from that to this other joint I did on the power towel where I was pulling my legs up. I was holding myself up. That joint right there is tough. And I woke up this morning, my back was a little sore. And you know how that go. But I came downstairs, I stretched my back out a little bit. I didn't go through the same exercise routine. I just did my regular crunches. Elbow to knees, touch the top of the knees, legs bent, legs flat, 6 inches. I did a 5-minute plank, and then I went for my run a little while ago. I went for my run at like 12 something. I ran 6.34 miles, came back to the crib, back still stiff, but as you can see, I got this seat behind me right now holding me up, because I ain't playing. No, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, say WW3. Hey, man. Hey, look, man, we going to keep getting it till we be in WW3 while you're driving. Yo, it's hard sometimes. Like, sometimes you don't want to go for that run because I'm the same thing, and it's hard. Hey, look, I don't want to go sometimes too, bro, but my dedication. You know, I was in the grocery store today because y'all know I go to the grocery store every day because I buy my food by the day. And the security guard was like, yo, man, I see you every day in here. What's your story, dog? So I started telling him my story. He said, man, how can I get online? I got a business card that shows you my YouTube channel and all that. He said, I'm going to check you out today, bro. He said, I'll be seeing you in here every day. You be coming from running. You be running in the rain. I see you in here. I ran in the snow. All my runs stop at the grocery store. I go in the grocery store. I bought all vegetables. I bought an orange, an apple, some cashews, and some protein bars. I came onto the crib, dog. Word free speech. What's good, dog? What's happening with you? Apollo does it. Apollo does it. That's what it is. No way it's Ocho Cinco. Yeah, Ocho Cinco, my boy, man. Why you driving? That dude plays some game. You know what I like about Ocho Cinco? They said he played his first couple of years in the NFL and he wasn't spending no checks. That's why he can sit and talk right now and he got plenty of money saved up. That's what I'm talking about, man. I'm saying, what face wash and moisturizer you use? Man, I use Dove soap, bro. Dove soap with no detergent in it. 'Cause I can't use detergent. Like, I can't use laundry detergent that has, like, perfume in it. Because it'll break me out, man. I'll be itching. I'll be itching all day long, man. I always just use the original scent. And I just keep my face clean, bro. I wash my face in the morning, wash it at night. You know how I go, bro. So you stretch. Hey, man, you got to stretch every day. You see how much stuff I be doing, Ninja Q? Man, I do 300 kicks a leg at night. That's 300 kicks a leg per kick. That's 900 kicks. You see what I'm saying? So with that being 900 kicks, then I turn around and I'm always punching the bag. I'm always expelling all my energy. I'm always running. I got to stretch every day. I got a whole stretch routine online. I just put it up there a couple of days ago. No joke. I got a whole stretch routine online. I don't even know the name of it, man. I told y'all I don't remember the name of nothing. Because I got over 2,000 videos on this channel. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to remember the name. I can't remember what I named nothing. I just know what it's about. But I don't remember what I named it. But I'm going to tell you in a second. Let me see. Because I know what oh, wait a minute. That's my live post. It was a video. Let me see. It was Crunch Routine. It's called Crunch Routine. That's what it's called. Look. Like sometimes I name it something simple so I can remember it and still couldn't remember it. I had a feeling people talk to you about you at the store every day. Hey, look, man, when I go in the store every day, I know everybody there. I knew the manager that used to be the manager. I know the new manager that's in there now. Everybody know me. And if I got a problem, one time, man, real talk, one time I got on the lottery machine. And I told you I don't play but $5 worth of lottery numbers every day. It's 50-cent numbers. I play 6 50-cent numbers and 2 $1 numbers, right? So that's $5. It got to the point where 2 of my numbers worked. The other numbers I was playing, the $3 worth, wouldn't work, and the machine froze up. I already got my numbers, but $3 of my money was still in the machine. So I was like, I was waiting and waiting. It was hot. I was tired. I was worn out. I had just came back from a 5-mile run, and I was standing in there, and the junk was playing around. And I said, "Excuse me, can somebody help me?" And they was like, "Yeah, we'll be right there." Then she said, if I come over there and I turn the machine off and turn back on, it's gonna take like 10 minutes. I said, "Listen, I ain't got 10 minutes." I said, "I just came back. In fact, I had just came back from a 10-mile run." I said, "Look, just keep the money. I'm going home. I'll deal with it another day." I came back the next day and she said, the lady was working the lottery machine, said you left $3 in it, and she put she didn't know your name, so she wrote a piece of paper, and the piece of paper said guy with the backpack on that always run every day. This is $3. So when I came in, the guy gave me my $3. I was like, I told her just leave it in there, give it to somebody else. She was like, nah, they remember who you were. I was like, that's props. So yeah, so I go to the store every day. Let me say, was security guard impressed? Then you told him, yeah, he was impressed because he see me running all the time. He see me running. It be snow outside. I still come in the door running. He works right at the front door. And then he told me he was 300 pounds about 4 years ago. He lost a lot of weight. He said, I'm still trying to get in better shape now that I lost the weight. So I told him, I said, get on my channel, man. Holler at me. Let me see. I don't know how to pronounce that. Englisina, something like that. Englisina, I guess. EGLISINA 1344. Hey, coach, I was the guy that told you the other day that lost because I quit the fight. Oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, hey, look, you know I'm going to wish you luck. I'm going to wish you more than luck, brother. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that your heart is strong. I'm going to pray that your skills stand up. I'm going to pray that your coach prepared you. I'm going to pray that you understand what you're up against, that you have patience and that you have fortitude and that you have the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding to just put forth the best effort that you got. Nobody is expected to win all the time, but some of us are going to win all the time. That could be you, my friend, but you just got to walk the walk and talk the talk. Don't eat no butterflies. Don't let nobody scare you, bruh. You are God's son, bruh. This is your game. I'm praying for you, bruh. Do your thing. Ninja Q7934. I do wonder when I am going to join a boxing gym. Soon enough. Hey, look, they say there's no mistakes being made in this world, Ninja Q. They say God will prepare you when you are ready. And you are getting ready right now because your mind is right here in the game. We all know you got knowledge. Everybody that's been on my channel know you got the knowledge. Now you just got to put it in rotation. I've been following you for a good, I'm going to say a while now. You the same guy every day. I appreciate you and I like that. Hey, look, Andrew Hopper, you know how we get down, bruh. Hey, look, real, recognize real. That is not a fake statement, bro. That is a true statement. You know what they say? They say, God say there are no mistakes being made. None. Everything that happens for a reason. No mistakes being made. So when you found my channel, you found it for one or two reasons. Either because I needed something that you offered, or you needed something that I offered. Maybe or both of us. But bottom line is, bro, I look for you when I come up here. It's certain people that I look for. Fit Flame Mode, that's my dog, all right? Ninja Q7934, that's my dog. Uncle Charlie, y'all know what the deal is. And Andrew Hopper, y'all, Ninja Q7934, y'all know I can say his name twice because that's how much I be looking for. Listen, Y'all are real to me, bro. Y'all are real. It's just like I'm calling my son on the phone. That's how I look at y'all. Like I'm calling my son on the phone and he asking me something and I'm giving him good advice. That's how I feel about it. And trust me, my son done gave me advice too. I ain't too old. I ain't too old to understand what somebody else got to say either. So with that being the case, man, let's just keep rocking this thing out, bro. Let's rock it out to the end, bro. Y'all know what we got to deal with. Y'all know what. Y'all know y'all been up here and watched the trolls. You watch how I handle the trolls. You know, sometimes I let them slide. Sometimes I hit them with the pop, pop. Because you got to hit them every now and then. Let them know what you made out of, right? But y'all understand, man. Y'all understand the game. Hey, look, Andrew Hopper. Andrew Hopper, I got one for you. You say you like to work out all the time. I know you probably have seen it already. But if you ain't seen it, I'm about to show it to you, bro. This right here, this jump was stupid hard. Turn, look. And holding yourself up the whole time, I was out of gas. I tried to do it a little longer, but I couldn't. Because this is like the 5th time I did it, and it's the only time I recorded it. That joint right there, player, ain't no joke. Y'all think all that other stuff I be doing ain't no joke? That ain't no joke. I know you seen this. This right here is hard, but it ain't undoable. It's hard, but it ain't undoable.
I did 10 of these. I saw it online, and I wanted to see if it was really complicated or if it just looked complicated.
That joint is serious, but it ain't. It won't stupid though. That other joint was stupid. So I'm telling you, man. Hey, look, all this sore for like 24 hours. For 24 hours. Let me see. Uncle Charlie. I cold plunge today, 32 degrees, man. Your booty ashy right now. You can't be out there cold plunging like that, player. Your booty ashy. Put some lotion on your booty cheeks, man. I freeze. Hey, look, I know what the deal is. Ryan Saunders, my dog. What it is, man. Peace to you, bro. Ninja Q. Yep, be the same guy, cuz he always stays true to the routine and the lifestyle. Hey, look, bro, I can't preach it. I can't teach it and preach it if I ain't doing it, bro. I gotta do it. Hey, look, they say true examples lead from the front, bro. They don't lead from the back. They lead from the front. Gabriel Renard, that's my dog. What it do, man? Hey, look, great minds think alike, Andrew Hopper. You know it, bro. Hey, look, you know it. You understand it, and you know it. Uncle Charlie, man, put some on them ashy booty cheeks, man. If I got in that cold water like that, I'll be in that joint like, I'm all right. I'm all right. Be shaking. Hey, look, be shaking like a leaf. Hey, look, Ryan Saunders say he been here 3 months and I'm still getting funnier and funnier. Hey, look, man, you know when I realized I was funny? When I started laughing at myself. I be doing some stuff sometimes, man. I be like, yo, dude, what is you talking about, man? What is you... Hey, look, man, sometimes the joke just get funny. I ain't lying, man. Sometimes you got to say something that's funny. I don't know, man, because it makes all the pain go away, bruh. Yeah, I saw that. I do that and pull myself up with it, but I'm 28, so I should be able, it should be easy. So should be easy for you. No, it ain't easy for me. It might be easy for you. You talking about the thing when I was sitting down or the ab roller? That one of them. I mean, the ab roller is pretty easy because I've been doing that for a while. But that other joint, no, I just started doing that. I mean, I could do other stuff, but the joint I was, as a matter of fact, let me add it up. All right, when I did the joint sitting on the floor, pulling myself up, that was yesterday morning. But my back was already sore when I did it. But I still did it because I don't like to complain. That's when I challenge myself, when I'm already sore. Because if you already sore, ain't no excuse. So you got to do it now. Yeah, look, the first time I did it, I was like, I don't know. My back is sore. Then I said, no, you can't use that as an excuse, dog. For real. You said you're going to try it, though. Try it, at least try it. So I tried it. I did it like 2 or 3 times. And I finally got a routine because I ain't had no routine. I was just holding myself trying to figure out what I was going to do next. So I said, do this, then twist the leg over and twist the leg over. All right, now just pull yourself up and then bring it back down and then start over again. I was able to do it 2 sets like that. But I had to have a routine. And the last time I did it, I was more mad at the fact that my back was sore that I did it anyway. That's how I did it. But I'll probably do it better one day next week when my back completely ain't sore no more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know what you meant to say, Andrew Hopper. Look, you 28. I got sons that could do ring around the rosies on what I do sometimes, but we train the same. But I still get it in though, because at 58, I don't believe in. There ain't no excuses, bro. Man, I thought this guy, Mike Q6P6P, I thought it said Mike Epps. I was gonna say Mike Epps in the building. What it do, Mike? The story you shared about the power of seeing and recognizing the people of the store, how they went above and beyond is very true. Kindness and abundance. Hey, look, man. Hey, look, I wasn't expecting $3 back. Real talk. I wasn't. But then I guess they recognize me. Because sometimes, like the way I do things, all right, I'm gonna tell you a story that happened last weekend. And I was almost hoping that things worked out so I could be of assistance. Because sometimes God got you in a place at a certain time for a certain reason. Let me tell y'all a story. I was in Walmart and they had plenty of aisles open. And each aisle had about the same amount of people in it. But this one young girl, she could have been no more, she's under 30. I knew she was under 30. She probably was about 25 to 30. And she was a little small frame girl, about 5'2", maybe about 120 pounds. And she reminded me of my daughter. My daughter's 5'1", like 116, 17 pounds. She reminded me of my daughter. And she had 3 kids with her. She had 3 little girls. They were all little. Looked like they couldn't have been no more than 4 years old. And then I think she had one that was like 2 years old. Maybe one was like 3 years old. Somewhere around there. And I told my wife at the time, I said, this is what I don't like. I don't like the fact that I see these young girls out here with these babies and no ring on their finger, right? I could look and see she ain't had no ring. And the whole thing was, see, I wouldn't want my daughter to be in that situation. So now I'm already in the father mode. I'm already like, okay, pay attention. I hope she needs something because I'm going to be right here for her. And I just want to be able to tell her that I'm praying for you, that I'm not without disrespecting her. Because the whole thing is you don't want to disrespect her. You want to kind of help out if needed, but you can't overstep your boundary. So I wish I had more money on me at the time, because if I had like a G on me, I'd have been like, look, these your kids? She'd have been like, yeah. I said, can I do something for y'all? And then she would have been like, yeah, what you need? And I would have been like, boom, I want to give you something. But I ain't had no real money on me. I had like $200. And I ain't had 200, like 100 and something. But I had my debit card on me. So I was behind her now. And when it came time for her to pay, she was using multiple sources to pay. She was using like a food stamp card and this thing called Walmart Pay, whatever that is. And for some reason, it wasn't going through. And she kept trying it, and she said, this is my PIN number. And I was like, please, God, if you don't let it go through, I just need the lady behind the counter to say, I'm sorry, young lady, but it's not going through, and I can't hold the line up. That's when I was going to be like, oh, I got you. Boom. So, honey, I heard it was $195. I was going to make, bam, put on a debit card. I'm ready to roll. But right when I was pulling out my debit card out of my backpack, it went through. I was like, I didn't want to, like I said, didn't want to look like I was paying attention to her business, and I didn't want to step in and help if help wasn't needed, because people get pride, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of hoping in my own little way that it didn't go through, so I could use that as my way in. It was me and my wife, and my wife knew what I was about to do because she saw me going in my bag. I'm that kind of guy, bro. I don't like to see that. I want to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? That's what God put me here for. But it worked, and when it worked, I was like, oh, man, I was about to get it. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being the case, man, I just said a prayer for her. And I didn't want to, like I said, I couldn't interrupt because I didn't want to offend her and make her think that I was paying attention to her business. But it was right there. The lady was working with her, and the lady had to call another lady over because something was wrong with the thing, and she wasn't getting the swipe thing, wasn't working right. And I was like, man. And it took like 10 minutes. But once again, she knew I knew what was going on, but I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to overstep my boundaries. I didn't want to interrupt. But man, God, I was like, God, please let this be my window. Let this be my window in, because I get to help people like that. But I know I'm gonna see her again, or I'm gonna see somebody else that need me more than she needed me. Bruh, that's what I'm here for. I am not here for me. I done already had my time. I'm not here to shine. I done already had my time. So please allow me to do what I can for whoever I can, whenever I can. Place me in the place that I'm supposed to be. Please, God, please place me in the place that I'm supposed to be, and let me do what I'm supposed to do. I know I'm here for a reason. I know it. I went through all these years of training. I went through all these years of making money. I went through all these years of understanding how to deal with people. Just put me in the place that I'm needed. Let me come through. I ain't got no cape on, bro, but I don't need one. Because I got a Christ on. Y'all seen my tattoo. I got Christ right in the center of my heart, bro. Right in the center of my heart, bro. And with that being said, that was my story for the day, bro. That's my story for the day. TOC cool? No, too cool. Too cool 765. What it do, man? Hey, look, man, if y'all on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if y'all already a member of the channel, then please hit the like button and let the algorithm know that it's Saturday afternoon and it's about 5 minutes to 3 and we up here working, bro. We up here working. I'm trying to reach everybody I can. You know Salvador Sanchez, him versus Shushu. I know who Salvador Sanchez is. That should be a good fight. I think Shushu will get beat soon as the right guy put pressure on him. I think Shushu did good against guys that try to box. They trying to find guys that he could box. Like he looking for a Shakur type fighter. Another guy where he can have his strategy against their strategy. His wit against their wit. His skill against their skill. But that's a tricky fight because I don't think he could beat people that can stand in and bang. I don't think he could beat like a Keyshawn Davis, that kind of fighter that can stand in and bang with him. I think they'll outbang him. Ryan Saunders, I'm about to say Ryan Garcia. Ryan Saunders, all the trolls and you just take the mick out of them. Hey, look, man, I be just trying to get them over here, bro. You know, with respect though. Hey, coach, how many fights you had? Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know, bro. I had so many fights, man, in my life, where the street fights, wrestling matches, karate fights, and boxing matches. Add them all up, I'm probably at 100. Because I fought 5 times a year as a martial artist, and I don't even want to count the rest of the fights. But let's say this. I did what I had to do when I had to do it, and now I'm here to teach it. Now, remember, my whole goal is to never brag about me. You know, a guy hit me online the other day. He wanted to do a story about me on my Instagram page. He said, do you mind calling in? I want to do a story on you and let people know exactly how good you were at the stuff that you did, because he knew me. And I was like, no. He said, why not? I said, because it ain't about me. I done already had my time. I don't need no shine. That's the bottom line is I done already had my time and I don't need no shine. I just want to do what I can for other people. And if it takes me to brag about what I did for me to help somebody else, then they don't need my help anyway. Bottom line, I don't need that kind of shine. I feel left out, coach. I thought I was your man. Oh, man, Leader Great, you know you my man, dog. That's why, hey, look, you know what I like about you, Leader Great? You challenge me. You challenge the whole stream. And that ain't a bad thing, because sometimes you need to challenge people. You need to say something that's going to wake us up. You know what I'm saying? And make us think about it. Think about it. I'm waiting on you right now to say something. I know you're going to, I call it stupid, but it ain't really stupid. It ain't really stupid. It's just that you don't have the same opinion I got. And that's cool. That makes our battle better. You know what I'm saying? Because if we both agreed on the same thing, what we going to battle about? You know my dream lifestyle, I don't need to be a billionaire. I just want to be able to go to the boxing gym and weight gym every day and coach my future. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You ever done weighted sled? Oh, yeah, I did it. I had a sled. All up until, you know, when you buy a sled, it's got the pole in the middle and you put the weights on it. The pole in the middle never stands. Because every one I buy, it's already welded to the middle. It ain't like you got to put it together and screw it in and nothing like that. It's a plate, and the thing was welded to the middle. And I had my boys out there running. We had two 25-pound plates on the joint. We running at the field across the street. Joint break off. Weight go one way, sled go the another way. I had 2 of them. Let's see. Say Santa Claus. They call me Santa Call. I'm the new Santa Claus, Santa Call. Y'all see me in the winter? Most of the time in the winter, I got a beard. Looking just like Santa Claus. You know, a guy told me back in the day, hold up. A guy told me back in the day, he saw a picture of me online. And he said, I look like Popeye. I ain't got the same picture because I was sideways when I took the picture. But this is the picture he was talking about. He said, man, you look like Popeye. See, I had the gray beard. He said, you look like Popeye. He said, dude, you cut up like Popeye. Cut that beard off every now and then, man. Like, change my look. Amen. Strong in spirit and in body. You have made my afternoon. Hey, look, bro, we're going to pray together. That's what we're going to do. We're going to grow together. We're going to learn together. Do you think Muay Thai and kickboxing tend to become almost the same art? If you're a good kickboxer, because kickboxing sometimes is like taekwondo with some hands. But if you're a good kickboxer and you really putting it in, then you putting it in like Muay Thai. I watched the Muay Thai fight online. It was a little snippet where a dude was fighting the dude and the other dude was winning. And dude kicked dude leg and took the whole leg out. That dude hit the ground. It won't no more left. Won't no more left. Excuse me. Don't get dry, man. Been out there running. Let me see. Plan 3. Plan 3. PLAN 111. Plan 3. Like they share so many similarities, but they're almost the same. Yeah, they do. Only thing is when you training kickboxing, you ain't kicking poles. You ain't elbowing poles and hitting poles and I saw this girl hitting a pole and bending the joint with her fist. Hey, Muay Thai is tough. Muay Thai would teach somebody if I had a kid and I was trying to bring him up and he was a pretty tough kid, I'd teach him Muay Thai. But if I had a kid that was not so tough, but I just wanted him to be able to protect himself, I'm teaching him Jiu-Jitsu. And if you got a kid that just, every time you try to hit, he moving, teach that kid boxing. Nate Wilmot, what's it? Nate Wilmot. What up, dog? Let's see. Ninja Q say, yo, man, I don't know, but I think it's good news today because there's this city 30 minutes away from me. And my uncle said next time we go there, we'll check out the boxing gym, and I'm going to town today. Well, that's what I'm talking about. When you back up here tomorrow, you got to let the rest of the crew know what's going on. Let them know what's cracking. Let me see. You look like Lennox Lewis in that picture. Hey, look. Back in the day, I wish I ain't tall like Lennox Lewis, but yeah, Lennox Lewis used to be a monster too, bro. He was one of the first boxers that was tall and still cut up. Yo, what's that in your water bottle? Number water. It's a tinted bottle, but it's got it's water with like a lemonade type of a rehydration powder. You just put the powder in. It's sugar-free powder. I think it's called Kick It or something like that. It's a powder I bought from Dollar Tree. It's like a lemonade type junk. Just cause I don't want to try it, and it didn't look like it don't have no calories, no sugar, and I don't really feel the difference, but tastes good. That's why people put that powder in their water, cause everybody can't drink water. I drink a gallon of water a day. Yeah, that's what I meant when I say cut up. He was shredded. He was still shredded. He was shredded enough. Back in the day, Lennox Lewis looked like he was a beast. I mean, like I said, man, I was afraid of Lennox Lewis. Lennox, I was like, please don't fight Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Because Lennox Lewis, Tyson was cut up. Back in the Tyson era, back when Tyson was like 20, Tyson was on swole. Yeah, that boy Lennox Lewis was a little cut up back in the day, about 20 something. He was in the 1990s. That boy had good boxing skills. Let me see. Dang. So Keyshawn, you watch him grow up. Yeah, I watch Keyshawn. I've been watching Keyshawn. I don't like to brag about stuff, but I've been watching Keyshawn since he was a little kid. We used to go to the gym, but all my guys were a lot older than them. My guys started at like maybe 14 or 15, and me and my 14-year-old guys was like 130, 140. My son was, I think, 18 or 19 when we started going to the gym that Keyshawn went to. We just went for sparring. They would call me up and they would ask, the coach was Coach Peak. She would call me on the phone and she would ask me to send her a list. So I would send her all the guys I was going to bring, usually like 10 guys. But I had nobody that was under 125 pounds, and they were like adults. My son was like 126, but he was like 18 or 19. My son now is 33. Keyshawn's like 25. So that's like 8-year difference. So when my son was like 18, he was like 8. So we could never spar him, but he had a brother, Kelvin, his oldest brother, used to spar my son. They only let him spar him a couple of times because I asked for him because Kelvin was like maybe 14 when my son CJ was like 18 or 19, but Calvin was an elite level fighter. He was an elite level amateur. Excuse me. He had about 60, 70 fights, and he had a strong jab. And we didn't go out there to bang people up anyway, so we wasn't going to try to make it a fist fight. We just was trying to box. When we go to a sparring session, we just box against other boxers. I wouldn't have them, some of the guys that were heavier and older, they fought a little different. But I still didn't let nobody just go out there and bang out because there's no trophy, there's no paycheck in here, bro. This is practice. But my son, I let him spar against Kelvin Davis. And they did a good thing because Kelvin had a long jab. And man, my son had to figure out how to get past that jab. But Kelvin was instrumental in my son being great at moving around that jab because he learned how to do it dealing with Kelvin. But I watched Keyshawn. Keyshawn was like 8, and his youngest brother was like 6, or he was 9 and his brother was like 6. Keon and Keyshawn. And Keon is good too. He just turned pro a little while ago. Kelvin is pro too. But Keyshawn Davis, I watched him because a lot of the sparring sessions, they all were held on the same day. So what happens is Maryland and D.C. would always come down and spar. I always think that Javante was coming down, but he never came. I don't think he ever came down when I was there. But he was closer to Keyshawn's age, probably like 2 years different. But I don't never see him down there. There was a lot of guys that were from Maryland and the DMV area that come down and they sparred at Barrard Park. So they would spar like 10 o'clock in the morning, and they would be done by like 1. We would get there like 12:30, and then we would start sparring like 1:30, and we sparred till like 3 o'clock, and then everybody went home. But man, it was some good sparring sessions. But we used to get there like 30 minutes before it was over so we could see Keyshawn. I'm talking about a guy that could change angles and do certain things at 8 years old. Man, it was amazing to watch. And I've been knowing him since that long. So that's why if you see me, you know me. His brothers know me. I used to deal with him a little bit more by, talking to him. But once guys become famous and become stars, I'm not a hover. I don't hover around. I don't need the props. I've always been humble enough and I was always comfortable enough in my own skin. I let them do them. But if they see me, they know who I am. Because I've been in the game for a long time, just like them. Lennox Lewis versus Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was the only guy that was that tall that could move that well and not get hit that much. And Muhammad Ali was just a beast. He had just the right amount of everything: conditioning, power, skill, speed, mobility, hand-eye coordination, blocks, moves, ducks. He knew how to do everything. Muhammad Ali was that's why they call him the greatest. He was just that guy. Every now and then there's a guy born that's just that guy. People don't like it when I say this, but Mayweather is just that guy. I don't know about now because I ain't talking about the 49-year-old Mayweather. I'm talking about the 29-year-old Mayweather. He was that guy. He went through a whole lot of people that couldn't beat him. Hey, Coach, I have a question. Rodney, what up, dog? Hit me with that question. Next time, don't say I have a question. Just ask it. Yeah, that is a young Lennox Lewis when he became champion. He looked bigger and bad with his cold sight and long hair. Yeah, when he had them dreads. That fight might happen this year. Inoue and Nakatani. Yeah, Nakatani. But Inoue and Nakatani ain't the same weight class. Nakatani fought Lomachenko. That put him at least 130. And Inoue, even though Inoue could beat him, but then I don't believe in taking fights that ain't against people that ain't in your class. You know what I'm saying? Junto Nakatani. But they talking about it. It's just gonna be an easy win for Inoue. It'll bring him into the category that we can talk about him being at that weight class. But It's supposed to be May the 2nd. Nakatani and Inoue are set to face each other in a massive, undisputed super bantamweight championship showdown on May the 2nd at the Tokyo Dome. Both fighters are undefeated, 32-0, with the match widely considered the biggest in Japan history. Nakatani not gonna do nothing to him. He ain't got the same skill level. But it'll be a good fight. It'll be an easy fight for Inoue. Inoue. I keep saying Inoue. Inoue. It's almost the same. Jones, Brandon, let's go. What it do, man? All right, here go Rodney. It says, is there a difference between the intensity and hunger with these new athletes compared to the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s? Yeah, because people have got more trickier. That's not good or bad. They have got more, I could duck and I could boot, like the Ben Whitakers of the world, like the Sweet Pea Whitakers of the world. Sweet Pea Whitaker could move and not get hit for 2 or 3 rounds and make you look stupid swinging at him. Back then, but Sweet Pea Whitaker still fought. These guys took a part of Sweet Pea Whitaker but didn't add the fighting part in. So they spent a lot of time bobbing and weaving and ducking and dodging, but never throwing punches. So now you got guys that'll move, get out of the way and all that, but like Josh Kelly, get out of the way of everything, but don't necessarily land punches. So you got a lot of that. You got a lot of showboating today. You got a lot of people that's taking bits and pieces from other people from back in the day, like Muhammad Ali's footwork. They showboating on the footwork, but they ain't got the skill set to finish off the fight. So back in the 80s and 90s, when guys was throwing real knuckles and real hardware, it was if you was my weight, we fought. Now it's, I want to catch weight. I want to be like 8 pounds under you type of thing. It's a bunch of mess now. Boxing has become more of a glamour sport, where instead of getting down dirty, instead of being out there training in the rain, it's raining today, I ain't gonna run today, I'm gonna just get on the treadmill. I run in the rain because I come from the old school era. I don't believe in missing practice. I train 7 days a week. I just told y'all when I first got online, I did so many exercises on Thursday and Friday that when I woke up this morning, my back was sore. It was a little sore, my lower back. But guess what? I still work because that's what I'm made out of. I can't be an example to somebody if I'm not doing it. So I got to be an example. I just remember, I brought that text this guy back this morning. Let me say, what you think Tank should do next? Honestly, and this is my hand to God, honestly, they spend a lot of time teaching you how to win and how to make money, but not teaching you how to live with that money. Biggie Smalls said it best when he said, more money, more problems. The biggest problem that I see with Gervonta is he knew how to make money, but didn't know how money was going to make people react around him. So a lot of girls chase that dollar. A lot of guys chase that dollar. But nobody's going to give you no advice on how to act when you got 30 million in the bank. And you're not going to ask for it because you think you already got the answer. You think because you made 30 million, that's the answer. Nah, that ain't the answer. That's how you got the money. Now, what do you have to do to learn how to keep the money? So, in situations like that, you know what you get? You get a guy that wants to act up because he think that money makes him do that. That money allows him to do that. It was a song that was written, I don't know if it was Ja Rule. It was somebody. I don't know who it was. But it was like, we don't sit at the red light. We go through the red light. We just ride through the red light because they got plenty of money now. They don't care about tickets. It's guys that speed doing 100 on the 35 because they got money. But they don't understand you still got to pay the price. You got to pay the price for having money. Money, this ain't the mafia. This ain't you ain't a drug kingpin. You can't get away with stuff because you ain't bought nobody off. You see what I'm saying? So with that being the case, what Gervonta need to do is find somebody that he can believe in, somebody that's got his best interests at heart, somebody that's not chasing his money, and have them guide him on moves to make. Because if he was my guy, and he said, I'm going out with this girl, I said, you don't need to go out with that girl. Because that girl, I can tell you what she's looking for already. So when you start having babies by them girls, they try to own you. Unfortunately, every girl ain't the same, but the ones that he dealing with, they like, I'm gonna keep you from seeing your kid. I'm gonna make you pay. I read a story the other day, TikTok. I don't remember who the person is, but she had a baby by somebody, and she said, if he don't give me the relationship I want, then I'm gonna want $500,000 a month. I think it was Kai Sanat, that guy, that YouTuber. He's worth a couple of million. The girl said, if you don't give me the relationship I want, then I'm gonna get $500,000 a month. What kind of crap is that? But that's the crap that happens. I mean, she probably can't get $500,000 a month, but that's the crap that happens. You spend time trying to defend the money. So what Javante need to do is find somebody that will help him understand what money is bringing into his life. Then, when you get that part straight, you understand what life is about, and there's no more problems outside the ring, you won't have problems inside the ring. And bruh, I think a unproblemed Javante Davis is a problem Javante Davis. You feel me? Thanks for all you do. Hey, look, Caesar. Appreciate it, dog. Everything you said, I think Mayweather and Tyson had it. Yeah, they had it. They had it all. And but look at it. Mayweather just had so much money, he didn't know what to do with it. So he had about 4 or 5 girlfriends and buying all these $40 million worth of watches and $40 million worth of cars. And look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had $500 million at one time. All the money was gone. He was down to like 20 million at one point. Now he's starting to build his money back up because he got out of the crap and somebody educated him on how to find somebody that is worthy of your time and your intelligence. Somebody that can add to the pot. Not necessarily money, but add to the pot. And that's what he found when he got married. He found a wife that was a doctor that had all these accolades and knowing how to treat people and knowing how to be treated and knowing what she will accept and what she won't accept. And then Mike says, I make this money and I give it to my wife. I let my wife do what she's going to do with this money because his wife going to take care of him. Put Mike right back in the game. Say, even Roy Jones and Mike Tyson and both the Rays were just that guy. Oh, they were all that guy. Roy Jones was my dude. Roy Jones was training with the chickens, chasing chickens in the backyard, old school. I don't believe in fighting outside of your class, getting held against you also. It's good for entertainment, though. Yeah, it's always funny. Watching people get in trouble is always funny. It's funny to us. It ain't funny to them. Wow, your answer incompatible with all sports. Thanks. I see it in basketball and football. They all do it. They all do it. Remember, what was it? Anthony Anderson, the basketball player. Anthony Anderson told a girl, I don't want to have no babies. She said, cool. Then she got pregnant. So he says, hey, look, I didn't want no babies. She's like, I understand. He said, I'm going to give you $100,000 to abort the baby. Because, I'm not trying to be a part of that deal, and that's not what I want to do with my life. She was like, cool. She took the $100,000, and then 9 months later, she had the baby. Then she goes to court and stands in front of the court and asks the judge to sue him for this child support money. He said, how much is the child support? The judge gave him a number. He said, okay. He wrote a 1.x amount of $1 million check on the spot and said, here you go, this 18 years. Walked out the courtroom. It happens to everybody. Somebody should tell you what to do when you get this money. They used to have people, I knew a friend of mine that worked for the NFL, PA, the National Football League, and he used to help people when they came in the league to understand what this money was about. Because the first thing we're going to do when he get $300,000 or $500,000, he going to go out and buy cars and he going to hang out at the bar. And he going to pick up girls that he can afford and he going to just throw his life away. But they don't understand. He going to end up with like Evander Holyfield. He going to end up with like 11 kids by 6 different baby mamas. That is impossible to do. How do you have 6 baby mamas and 11 kids? I don't understand it. I'm impressed with your knowledge of the UK boxing scene, coach. Giving shout outs to Ben Whitaker and Josh Kelly. They both solid. Hey, look, I watch boxing. I watch the real boxers. I watched Josh Kelly the other day. And it was Alexander Usyk. Lomachenko. Boy, you better know. The old days, they had more grit focus. Yeah, because, first of all, won't nobody making $10 million a fight. Now, dude trained for a $10 million fight, and then when the fight's over, he got $10 million. He don't care how he act a fool. Collect that check, But back then, you were making about $5,000, $10,000 a fight. Say Coach Kev. Yeah, Coach Kev is a good coach, man. Calvin Ford was a good coach, but the whole thing is, I don't know. Like I said, Calvin Ford come from a different era and a different time. Calvin Ford been in federal penitentiary. I think it was federal penitentiary, but he was, in the game. Let's just say that. And because of that, your mentality is a little different. And Javante, sometimes people feed off your mentality. They don't feed off of what you teach them out your mouth. They feed out the actions that you show them and what you do. So Javante might have picked up a little piece of that. Not necessarily a drug dealer, but picked up a piece of that lifestyle. Because big time drug dealer is a lifestyle. It's not just a guy standing on the corner, it's the lifestyle. And, it is what it is, bro. Sometimes it is what it is. And I just pray for him, bro. That's all you can do. 99% of boxers are squares. Look at Deion. Hey, look, 99% of boxers are squares. You have hit the nail on the head with the hammer. Devontae Wilder was a good boxer. He just wasn't being trained to be a good boxer. Sometimes people come get you for that one gift you got. Like Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. He had one hit, and they picked him up on that one hit. Well, Deontay Wilder, he had one hit. He had that right hand. Bow! That right hand, knock everybody out. And people pick you up on that. They don't try to add to your story. They just take what they got and run with it. And unproblemed Javante is a problem. Yeah, you better believe it. Mayweather had to spend, it was his brand. Oh, yeah, well, they called him Money Mayweather. It is what it is. You could have spent less. Or you could have spent it on something you can resell. And now he feel like he got to keep it all and then keep making more. Look, Mayweather got $40 million worth of cars and $40 million worth of jewelry and about $200 million worth of houses. All that be go. I'd be down to a one-bedroom apartment with a couple of trinkets and a Bentley out front, and we'd all be good. He was a good fighter at the right time. Mayweather was. He came into the game at the right time when nobody understood that shoulder roll. Now everybody trying to do it. But they still can't beat the master at it, though. Plan 3. Don't you think Tank Davis is just too reckless to reflect in that way and understand the things you said? I think he's too reckless because he been that way for a while. And I do think he's stubborn, which is why the judge give him time. Javante got home arrest and then changed homes. Who does that, man, and think they're going to get away with it? You got home arrest and then changed homes. Bruh, it is what it is, bruh. Dang, man, why don't y'all stop saying bad words up here, man, so I can stop having to read them and then reflect them. Instead of saying D-A-M-N, just say dang. That basketball player was tripping. Wasn't that LeBron James' friend? I don't know if he was his friend or not, but Anthony Anderson was like, I ain't about to have this child support stand over my head every year. I'm going to pay it all at one time. Coach, I love your channel, but Ben Whitaker is overhyped. Got beat by Chad Liam Cameron, who was banned for years. Josh Kelly won, but he ran away for the last 6 rounds of the fight. Hey, look, baby. Look, I ain't say I was fans of them. I just know who they are. I like the fact that Ben Whitaker got good movement, but sometimes I think move less and fight more. I like Josh Kelly. And Josh Kelly, he did what he did. And he don't think he lost but one fight. But Josh Kelly, solid fighter. I like to see him fight some other people. Hey, look, did y'all hear that my boy Regis Prograis just accepted a fight against Conor Benn? It's an ugly fight because Regis Prograis don't hit that hard to be in a fight against a banger, but he boxed that good to be in a fight, but Conor Benn is bigger than him. And man, but hey, we'll see. We'll see how it turn up. We'll see how it turn out. Hey, I got another question, especially now since I heard you speaking, even though you said just ask it. And then the laugh out loud at the end. All right, let's go on, kick it, bro. You know Vidal Riley, because him versus Ben would be a good match. Now, I don't know him, but I could look him up. Not by chance, I like that name. Ant-Man also paid $1 million for the full 18 years. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man. Terrence Crawford versus Floyd. Terrence wouldn't do nothing against Floyd. I like Terrence, but he couldn't beat Floyd. You got to remember that Terrence got half of the stuff that he got from Floyd. Conor Ben is ferocious and vicious, but that, dang, man, you erased it. He ferocious and vicious. I do agree. But that's just because he looked good fighting against Chris Eubanks. Even when he lost, he looked good. Then he came back and won. He looked better. Have you ever broke your... No, I ain't never broke my nose. I ain't never broke nothing, bro. I've been lucky. I've been one of the lucky ones. If y'all saw my foot online the other day, that's the first time I probably ever injured my foot. I didn't injure it. I didn't break it. I was practicing kicks, and I was trying to kick the bag, but the bag wasn't where it normally be when I kick it. I normally pull it to the center of the floor, but that night I was kind of lazy. I just kind of come over there and I kicked it. But the bottom line was I did a double kick, and I kicked the bar. That where you put your arms on the power towel where you're doing leg lifts, I kicked under it instead of going, oh, I was doing the axe kick. The kick comes up and goes around and comes down. But when I kicked over this way, I kicked the bar. It never went up. I kicked the bar. My whole big toe turned blue. It ain't broke though, because I ran the next morning 5 miles. Yeah, but no, I ain't never broke nothing. I never broke a hand, never broke a foot, never broke ankles, never broke wrists, never injured nothing, never been injured, never had bruised ribs. I'll tell you, the only injury that I ever had that I can remember, I was married at the time, so I was about 30. Let me see. About 30, about 34, 35. I pulled my groin muscle, and that was in a karate tournament. And I didn't pull it in a fight. I pulled it in a kata when I had to do a side kick. I leaned and threw the kick way up in the air, and then you had to hold it. When I pulled it down, I felt like something popped on me, snapped on me, kind of crackled and popped. But I finished the kata. I won first place kata, first place weapon, and then I had to fight. Now, keep in mind, I had to fight 5 times. I fought 4 times, either 3-1 or 3-0. I beat everybody. Got in the last fight. Couldn't even lift my right leg up, dog. Couldn't throw front kicks. Couldn't throw side kicks at all. Not even from the first fight. I was winning with front kicks and round kicks and punches. And I was winning over and over and over and over. And the head judge asked me, he said, because I had just won, and the other guy was on the sideline waiting to fight for the championship. He said, you want to take a break before you fight? I said, nah. The guy said, come on, man, take a break, because your leg is hurt. It was my leg that was hurting. I had to pull groin muscle. I said, if I sit down, I ain't going to be able to get back up. So the bottom line was, I fought the guy. Now, keep in mind, I had him 2-0. And then I threw a punch. He blocked it. He hit me with a punch, all right? 2-1. I tried to throw a kick, a fake kick, and then a hit. Missed him. Came back, kicked me in the stomach, boom, 2-2. I said, man, we kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they kept saying, no point, no point. The longer I fought, the worse I got. So I decided, I'm in a stance. They say, Hajime! I jumped and threw a punch. He threw a kick. It was like this, bang, bang. He kicked me, I hit him. Bang, bang, just like that. You couldn't tell the difference. I knew he hit me, but I didn't know if they knew it. Gave him the point, he ended up winning. When the man announced the win and everything, he was happy. He came over to me. He said, dude, what was wrong with you? I said, I pulled my groin muscle. He said, dude, you fought 5 times with a groin muscle pull? I said, 5 times, and almost won the whole thing. And he was like, man, you the beast, dog. And so he like gave me some dap and everything, and I left. My wife took me straight to the emergency room. I walked in the emergency room like I had just got off a horse. Walked in like this. Couldn't even spread my feet apart. Gave me some pain pills. Them pain pills were so strong, I couldn't even feel my private parts. hold my private parts going to the bathroom and didn't even know I was holding it. That's how strong them pain pills was. I was done. I was like I had horse pills, dog. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't never pulled a grown muscle in my life. That was the first time and the last time. So, with that being said, that's the only muscle or the only thing I ever pulled in my life, and nobody did it to me. I did it to me. People texting me, asking me about the lottery numbers because they know I be hitting on certain numbers, and the number came out yesterday and I hit on it. So they like, yo, did you hit it? I'm like, yeah, I hit it. And they're like, yo, man, you be that lucky. I said, I play the same number over and over. It's just the same number, just keep coming out. Let's see, let's see. Oh, man. Say Bud got ducking fighters from Floyd. Hey, look, man. As much as I understand the word duck, you got to understand something. I explained this one time before, but just for the people that might not have been here when I explained it, if you have a belt, period. I don't care who you are. If you have a belt, period, and someone wants to fight you, you cannot decide that I want to fight that guy. I don't care what they tell you or what they show you or what they make you believe. You cannot decide that I want to fight that guy and put my belt on the line. The company that holds the belt has to decide that you can fight that guy and put the belt on the line. And no matter what you think or no matter what somebody tell you, if Bud wanted to fight Boots and the WBC doesn't allow that fight, or the WBA or the IBF or whatever belts he hold don't allow that fight, then they're not going to let him put the belt up. If they can't put the belt up, then Boots don't want to fight. Boots ain't going to want to fight for nothing. He going to want to fight for that belt. A W don't mean nothing without the belt. So a lot of times back in the day, like over the last 10 years, people have fought, but the belt wasn't on the line. You're like, how the belt not on the line? Because the organization that held the belt don't sanction the fight. But you still got to pay for the fight. So in other words, if you got a WBC belt, you still going to have to pay about about 150,000 to 300,000 for that fight, even though the belt's not on the line. Ain't that some crap? So with that being a reality, people think that people are ducking people. They're not ducking people. It's just you can't fight who you can't fight. Now, a lot of times they tell you you can fight this guy or this particular person. And then you say, nah, I'll take, because they give you more than one option. You might have a WBC belt, a WBA belt, and a WBO belt. The WBA might say yes. The WBO and the WBC might say no. Everybody's not going to say yes by the same fight. So in that case, that's why you have a person that fights with 2 titles on the line, and when the fight's over, the guy's still saying next month he's still the WBO champ because WBO didn't sanction that fight. So with that being the case, when people say ducking fights, even when Mayweather was calling his own shots, he called his own shots, but he didn't call them for the commission, for whoever held the belts. He called them for himself. But he could go to him and say, hey, look, explain why he think they need that fight. If they don't want that fight, because a lot of times why they don't want that fight is because maybe, I'm going to just use 2 names. Boots and Crawford. Say Crawford has the belt. Say Crawford has the WBC belt. He wants to put the belt up, but the WBC says no. It doesn't mean that they don't think Crawford's going to win the fight. They might not want the belt to go to Boots because they might not have a working relationship with Boots, which means that if Boots get the belt and they don't have a relationship with him, then Boots can just throw the belt around any kind of way he wants. But that's why they want you to have a relationship with him. That's why people that drop the belts, like when Crawford dropped the WBC and said, I don't want it no more, that means he got a chance to do whatever he wanted to do at that point. But it's not about ducking. It's about whether they're sanctioned a fight or not. Only a few were able to go as far as, now, yeah, a lot of people got natural abilities, been able to go all the way to the end with natural abilities. Coach, what it do? Alex Foley, what up, dog? That's why training is important, because at that point you use your intelligence to get through everything. Hey, look, well, just like Regis Prograis said online today, he said he stay in the gym and stay ready. Stay within 10 pounds of his weight that he fight at all the time, because you never know when they gonna come in the gym and say, I need you. Gotta be ready. I feel like Mayweather started that belt combo. Mayweather did start it. Then Mayweather had all the belts. And when you have all the belts, you the first one to have all the belts. And Mike Tyson didn't care who he fought. Mike Tyson let them pick his fights. Mike Tyson was a thug. He wasn't about negotiations. He will fight anybody at any time for any reason. He fought fights that didn't make sense. Mike said at the end of his career, when he fought, I forgot the guy's name that he fought, but it was a white dude when he fought him. And I think he beat the guy, but he was like, these kind of fights don't make sense to him. He just said it don't make sense to him. He said, I don't want to be in boxing for these kind of fights. He felt like Mike said, this is what they starting to stick me with. I don't want that kind of fight. So Mike went on and retired. I'm going to tell you if I can remember the name of the fighter. I'm looking for it now. It's one of his last professional fights. Kevin McBride. He said, if these are the kind of fights that I have to fight just to be in the game, I don't want to be in the game no more. And Tyson was an animal. Hey, look, maybe you might be halfway right, but I don't think Bud ducked. It's a lot that goes on the line when it comes to a fight, and it is what it is. And Boots, he didn't like Boots from the beginning. He said Boots was trying to jump the line. Look, it's funny because I don't have to agree with everything everybody say, and y'all don't have to agree with everything I say. But I'm gonna make a statement that hopefully will make sense. Name me 2 fighters that Boots ever fought that was in the top 2 of any category. They weren't. So you can't name them. So how does he get to fight a guy that's a 4-time world champ? What did he do to earn that fight? Just our hype. That's all. He earned our hype. He ain't fought nobody. And since then, who has he fought? They say Boots is the best unknown fighter in the world. One of the best unknown fighters. They talked about that the other day. They said Boots has to step up and decide that he wants to fight somebody. He been handpicking his fights because he ain't in no organization. He been handpicking his fights. But instead of handpicking fights that were harder, he trying to get on what we call the track to getting a belt. Which means he fighting who they say fight, the little basic guys to keep getting knockouts and keep getting records. Boots is on the same track as Keyshawn, as Gary Antoine Russell, as Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. He on the same track as them. All fought in the amateurs at the same time. Why come the only one we talk about but haven't fought nobody? He ain't fought nobody. He could have fought a whole lot of people. Brian Norman Jr. He could have fought Teofimo. He could have fought Josh Kelly. All those guys are within reach of him fighting them. But he don't fight those guys. He keep fighting people that we are not proud of. So until he fights somebody, he shouldn't even be a part of this conversation. It ain't he asking for the top dog. He want to skip over everybody else straight to the top dog. How is that possible, dog? That's because it's a payday. He taking all these small paydays and beating all these nobodies trying to get a bigger payday. That's all it is. That's why the guy said the other day on the internet, he's the best known fighter that ain't fought nobody. Out of all the people I named, he didn't fight none of them. And all of them people have big name fighters. Even Keyshawn Davis done fought somebody. And he new to the game. Javante fought plenty of people with a name. All them guys, not Boots. It's always a matchmaking problem because companies don't want you to fight certain people. Plain and simple. I mean, I can give it to you from a smaller standpoint. My son was an exceptional, elite level amateur fighter. And we would go to fights. I mean, this from the bottom of my heart with my hand to God. We would go to fights that weren't in our area. And my son's name is Walter Parker. They do not know him as Carl Parker Jr. or CJ. On paper, his first name is Walter Carl Parker, not CJ. No one knew him as Walter Parker. So when we went to the fights, they had him booked to fight certain people. And then they would see him. That's who you fight. And they were like, that's CJ. Come fight that afternoon when you weigh in. That morning when you weigh in and the fights that afternoon, couple that afternoon, the guy don't show up. It happens all the time. They don't show up. We're like, what happened to the guy? He said he won't fight. His stomach ache. Hurt his hand. You know, his dad didn't want him to fight. It's all kinds of excuses. We done heard them all. So you go all the way to Carolina, 4 hours away, to not have a fight. Now, if they doing that in the amateurs, you know they're doing it in the pros. Richardson Hitchens. That's all I got to say. It's a lot of that going on. A lot of junk talking. Everybody could beat my son until it came time to fight. Then they wouldn't come to the fight. Now, I'm going to give you one even better than that. In 2019, the beginning of the year, my son got a pro boxing license. He already had 42 amateur fights. Had like 6 losses in his career. All those losses came in the first 2 years. He boxed for 10 years. All right? We went pro in 2019. Went to the state of Virginia, Richmond. Got his pro boxing license. Took his blood test and everything. Presented our information to a boxing promoter. Had him booked for a fight. Got to the weigh-in. The guy didn't show up to the weigh-in. Gave us $600 for coming because that was our end of the deal, right? Next fight, 3 months later, go to the fight. Guy don't show up. They had 2 guys. They had a backup guy. He said he wanted $1,000. How you gonna get $1,000 when the whole purse was $1,400? So we're gonna get him $600. We're gonna keep the $800. That's $1,400. He said he didn't want to fight. He only had that leverage because the other guy dropped out and he was the last guy the day of the fight. They were going to do a special weigh-in for him that morning and he could afford that night. The third time, nobody even took the bid to fight. We was giving up $1,500 of $2,000 to take the fight. We was going to take $500, give the other guy $1,500. Nobody took the fight. Then that was December the 9th, December the 8th, 2019. We went a whole year, 3 opportunities to fight, nobody shows up to fight each time. So in this was December the 8th, 2019. In March of 2020, COVID hit and shut us down for 2 years. Shut everybody down. Every gym, all of that, out the window. If y'all know Peter Kahn was Kambosa's manager. George Kambosa Jr. Peter Kahn was his manager out of Florida. Peter Kahn made a deal with me to come down to Florida in the sparring camp. We was going to be in the camp with George Kambosa Jr. Him and my son the same size. We was like, cool. They're going to pay us for 7 days to spar, 7-day hotel room and a car rental for 7 days to come to Florida. The fight between him and Lomachenko was supposed to be in 2020. Made the deal and everything. Had the whole 9. Met him online. Met him on Facebook. Sent him my son's footage through Facebook. He was like, I could use him because of his speed and his hand-eye coordination and the way he could change angles and keep throwing punches when he needed them. 2020 came, March, shut the whole joint down. Florida, you couldn't even spar in Florida. You could spar in Virginia, but you had to go in the back door. They couldn't catch you in the gym. We were still training at the crib. Ready to go to a sparring camp. Couldn't make the camp. They canceled the whole fight. Lomachenko didn't fight Kambosa in 2020. Matter of fact, Kambosa or Lomachenko didn't fight at all in 2020. They didn't fight again until 2021. By 2021 and a half, when they started fighting again, the fights were small. They was only letting the manager and your trainer. That was all people that could come in to fight. Even Shakur fought in a closed arena. It was like 10 people in the arena during COVID. Because COVID lasted from 2020 to like 2022. Right? In 2023, my son said he didn't want to fight no more. He said, after all that stuff I've been through, I don't even want to fight no more. He went in the Army. And that was the end of that. Now, that's to show you the bottom end of things. I'm hitting y'all from the bottom. Stuff that y'all would never hear about. We had sparring sessions with people, right? in DC and Maryland and North Carolina and Virginia Beach and Norfolk where we would go to the sparring session and they would tell me when I came in, you got to put your phone in the car. I said, well, I'm going to record the footage so I could go back and work with my son on what he did wrong or did right. They said, you can't have a phone in. They would record the sessions for themselves, but I couldn't bring my phone in. So no matter how good my son did, it don't matter. No matter how bad he outboxed another guy, it didn't matter. I couldn't tell nobody about it. I couldn't show it to you. It's crazy, man, how that worked. But that's how it worked, though. That's the game. That's the game we in, bro. Hey, look, I believe you too, Ninja Q. Hey, look, Crawford didn't duck boots. He'd rather fight Canelo. When it came down to it, he took the Canelo fight, which was a bigger fight. Made more money. He made $50 million off that fight. Yup, you remember that? The NFL had to play the game with no people in the stands. That's how it go, bro. Yeah, man, all of it. Man, we couldn't get no sponsors with nobody. We couldn't go in no gyms. They had shut all the gyms down. Hey, look, during COVID, I owned a barbershop during COVID. They shut down barbershops, hair salons, nail salons, tattoo shops, boxing gyms. They shut down everything. Everything. Shoe stores was able to stay open, but you had to have a mask coming in, and only the main shoe stores. If you owned a subsidiary shoe store, like a small store, you couldn't stay open. Boots versus Ben. Yeah, I said that. I said Conor Ben. Hey, look, man, y'all know the deal, man. Y'all know the deal. It's a lot of 147 and 154 fighters out here, and I ain't seen none of them fight Boots. And I don't got nothing against Boots. I don't got nothing against Boots. Hey, look. Hey, look, Leader Great, I love you to death, bro. I ain't gonna even lie. I love you to death. I love you like my own son, bro. But let me explain something to you. If Boots was that good and put out that much money, Boots would have had a top-notch fight. And Boots ain't never had a top-notch fight. And right now, I just watched Boots' interview where he was talking about Ryan Garcia that just won the fight against Teofimo, but Boots still ain't fought nobody. Hey, look, there's no such thing as ducking for the right amount of money, bruh. Hey, look, as much as I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, it's YouTubers out here be fighting all the time. Let a YouTuber call me. I'm 144 pounds. At 58 years old, I'll fight from 135 to 145. Right now. Any YouTuber out here got 100 grand, I'll climb in the ring today. We only gotta wait tomorrow. I can pass all the blood work. I don't do no drugs. I don't eat no meat. Saying I get in the ring tomorrow for 100 grand. Now you mean to tell me somebody wouldn't get in the ring with Boots for 100 grand for 1.5 million? I like Speedy. Speedy Rashidi ain't no good fighter though. Hey, look, Speedy Rashidi ain't no good fighter no more, man. That dude washed up. That's why Boots wanted him. I knew Speedy Rashidi from the amateurs, dog. Him and his sister. Hey, look, all I'm saying is, with all these fighters out here, he's selecting them. Hand selecting them. He might as well be. I'm going to tell you what Boots need to do. I'm going to be honest. Boots, if you're listening to this interview, go to Mayweather. Go to Mayweather. Let Mayweather run your career. And you'll be able to do all that ducking. And you'll be able to do all that help. But Mayweather find you fights, though. Virgil is not a good fighter. Once again, Leader Great. Name somebody great. Name somebody great that ducked Boots. Speedy Rashidi, 28-1. He only got 19 knockouts. He 5'9", and he aged 32. And he ain't really got no skills. He been beating people like Javier Fortuna, Jose Angala, you know what I'm saying? Roman Villa, a bunch of nobodies. Hold on a second, y'all. Dang. Hold up. My wife is calling me. She might be probably on the way home. Yo, what up? I'm doing a live stream. You need something? Okay, just making sure. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Just making sure my wife didn't want nothing. Hey, look. Yeah. Hey, look, Leader Great, like I said before, man, I ain't even gonna front. I love you, bro. You got your information. Everybody got some information. But let's be clear. Earl Spence didn't want to fight Bud because Bud was lower level on the totem pole, right? He couldn't make no whole bunch of money fighting Bud, but he lost to Bud. But Earl Spence wasn't gonna come down even further than Bud to fight Boots, because you got to understand something. This is what it all boiled down to. You can call it all day long. You can write 10 articles about it all day long. But the bottom line is, who has Boots fought that allowed him to get in position to fight these big name fighters? Yeah. Yeah. Who did he fight? Who did he fight that got him in position so that he could get these fights? I want to know. You talking a lot about who ducking him, but my question is, he ain't God. So who did he fight? He 35-0 with 31 knockouts. Right? 35-0 with 31 knockouts. He's 28 years old. My friend, it ain't nobody on this whole list that mean anything. Nobody. I'm looking at the whole box rack, bruh. He fought a guy that was 1-9, 0-1, 0-4, 3-12, 1-3, 2-4, 4-2, 3-4, 28-16, 20-12, 25-26, 16-20, 6-32, 17-12, 3-18, 23-14, 15-10, 13-9, 27-13, 26-10. He fought Armando Alvarez, who was 18-0, and we never heard of him before a day in our life, and he beat him up, knocked him out in the third round. He fought Raymond Serrano at 24-5, knocked him out in the second round. He fought a guy that was 23-5, knocked him out in the first round. He fought a guy that was 12-1 named Damian Daniel Fernandez, never heard of him. He fought 14-1, 23-5, 28-2. He fought Sergio Lipinets at 16-1-1, knocked him out in the sixth round. He fought Thomas DeLune, a bum, 25-5. He fought Castillo Clayton, who was 19-0, but he knocked him out in the second round because he was nobody. He fought 21-1, 26-1, 30-4, a Vizian at 30. He was 34-1, knocked him out fifth of 12 rounds. He fought 24-2, 15-0. He fought Stainonis, and he fought Uzima Lima 14-1 and knocked both of them out. Now, this dude got 35 fights with 31 wins, and we don't know a single name of nobody he fought. Nobody. These cats is not nobody to build a record with. That's what the trick part. You know, it was a guy from Maryland one time. He told me his coach instructed him to take 20 fights. They bought off 20 fights. They ain't buy bums. I mean, they didn't pay a guy to take a loss. They bought bums, right? 20-0. And he could never get a main fight. You know why? Because his 20-0 was so low that he never got a main fight. Never got a main fight. That's what this dude is. He could be the greatest guy that we ever seen fight for Philadelphia. He ranked number 1 in certain places because of his record. 35-0 with 31 knockouts. And he ain't fought one bona fide semi-champion in 147, 152, or 154. Not no name that we recognize. No name that we anybody can have a 90% knockout ratio for fighting nobody. That's the whole thing that people don't seem to understand about boxing. Boxing is about names. You can fight 100 bums. What did they tell Crawford? You could beat Mayweather's record. We'll just give you 8, 7 other fighters that ain't never fought nobody. What did they tell Lomachenko? Lomachenko made a deal with Top Rank Boxing because Mayweather and Golden Boy didn't want the deal. Lomachenko said, I need to fight in the top 2 of any category. WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. The top 2. If you ain't going to give me the top 2 and put me in line for a title, I don't need to fight. Bob Abrams said, but you could be 100-0. His style would have been 100-0. He said, I don't want to be 100-0. What did Lomachenko say? I'm going to quote it word for word. He said, I want to show the world how good my father is as a coach. I can beat anybody. They put Lomachenko in fights, starting with his first fight against top-level opponents. And the only reason he fought the second fight against old boy in the second fight and lost is because they didn't want him to win the fight. But the WBC was so upset about the fact that they stole the fight from Lomachenko that they gave Lomachenko the same opportunity to fight for a belt in his third fight. Who did he fight in his third fight? He fought Gary Russell Jr. and he beat him to death. That let you know right then that Lomachenko was about it. Lomachenko fought nothing but names. Nothing. He didn't duck nobody. No but names. I could go through this list. We'll just say Orlando Salido is the first fight that he lost. And Orlando Salido reportedly hit Lomachenko with 14 low blows and never got a single point deducted in the entire fight. That is why the WBC said, we're going to give you a second. Nobody has ever got a second chance to win the same belt. They gave it to him. They put him in there with Gary Russell. He got a majority decision win over Gary Russell. Excuse me. Then he fought Roman Martinez. He fought Nicholas Walters, Jason Sosa, Miguel Mariagua, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Jorge Linares, Jose Petraza, Anthony Crolla, Luke Campbell. Then he lost to Teofimo Lopez. Then he fought Mayasushi Nakatani. Then he fight Richard Comey, Jermaine Ortiz. He lost to Devin Haney. Then he beat George Kambosos Jr. and then retired on a win. Man, you talking about Boots? Boots could afford Lomachenko. But he won't going to. He won't no hype job. How's he a hype job? You saw the record? Everybody he fought was in the top 2 in their division. Come on, dog. You just like now you just trying to be funny. Now you just trying to be funny. He fought in the top 2 of his division. Every belt that he won was the top 2 people in his division. Just because you don't like him don't mean he won't good. But bottom line is, you want to talk about a hype job? Let's talk about Bud. Let's talk about Boots. Boots fought absolutely nobody in 35 fights. You don't know none of them. Just because you put a guy in the ring with another guy that looks like a fighter and acts like a fighter and fights like a fighter but can't fight, don't make him a champion. He is a 90% knockout ratio against bums. Anybody could do that. They already said it. Anybody. That's why the big names don't take the fight, because he ain't fought nobody. They say the same thing about him every single time. That dude is a clown. It's his fault for taking them bum fights. He know when he taking fights, he gonna be able to knock the guy out in 1 or 2 rounds. Nobody don't want to fight me. Nobody. Please, dude. All these fighters out here, nobody don't want to fight you. Come on, dog. You could afford a whole lot. He could fight Josh Kelly, but he ain't gonna take that fight. He ain't gonna take that fight because Josh Kelly looked like a real fighter. He could fight Oscar Duarte. He ain't gonna take that fight. He could fight Teofimo Lopez. He ain't gonna take that fight. He could fight Ryan Garcia. He ain't gonna take that fight. He could fight Gary Antoine Russell. He ain't gonna take that fight either. He want to skip over them guys and go straight to Boots, so that when he win, he can have a name to match with. If he win, he'll have a name to match with all them other wins he got. He needs something. He need a name now that's gonna validate all the wins. He could have afford anybody, but he chose to go the other way. That's what I call a duck fighter. Hey, look, check this out, y'all. I gotta get offline now. I've been up here. I just called and said she on the way home. I hate for her to come in the house and I be on the phone in town and business all the time. Sometimes I gotta just be ready for her when she get here. Hey, look, Charlo ain't ducking Boots. Boots ain't done nothing to match a Charlo. Y'all want Boots to skip over the line. Well, Boots ain't fought nobody at the bottom that was top notch. And Charlo wouldn't duck Boots. What would he duck Boots for? Boots ain't got nothing. Boots ain't got nothing for Charlie to duck. But you got to understand, I'm gonna say this last thing. When promoters are looking to promote a fight, both people have to weigh something. They gotta weigh something. Charlo's weight is heavier than Boots. So how much is Charlo gonna get if Boots is undefeated, 35-0 with 30 knockouts? How much is Charlo gonna make? $100,000? $200,000? Boots got to fight somebody, bro. And until Boots fights somebody, Boots is not a part of this conversation. But look, with that being said, y'all be safe and take care of yourself. I got to get off here for my wife get home. Holla.